What's up, everybody? It's your boy, The Legend, and I'm here at my old home park, my old stomping grounds, Six Flags Great Adventure. Molly's here too. We're going to show you guys around, give you a little tour and review what we love at Great Adventure, what we don't like. I'll wax poetic about my childhood, of course. Going to show you the construction going on for whatever's going next year. Show you some adorable animals and kind of give you a good view of the park and see what we like, what we don't. And let's get it rolling. So we're not going to show you guys around the boardwalk section of the park, home to a couple different things. The back half's kind of very much superhero themed. Used theming very loosely with the Green Lantern roller coaster, which is this awesome big giant stand-up roller coaster. Molly, I think I like this one more than you did, probably.
I do not like it. Yeah. I don't like stand-up roller coasters.
I think it's one of the better stand-up roller coasters.
Ugh.
Yeah, and I do like that they took the old Right Stuff airplane from the old Mach 1 adventure, and it's now used as a queue element. So I like that. Good ride, nothing amazing. One thing that's kind of a bummer for me is last time I rode this a couple years ago, one of my favorite parts was when you go through the first drop, you go through a little bit of like a mist cutout thing, and there was like this demon guy. Well, the demon guy's not there anymore. I actually saw him on Nitro over in the Boneyard. I don't know if he's getting repainted or just he uses like a Fright Fest prop or what, but the demon guy, not really there anymore. Right next door is the Superman Ultimate Flight, which is the same one as the one at Great America, same one as the one over at Georgia. Decent ride, but nothing too spectacular. It's the kind of thing, if you haven't been on a flying coaster before, you'll probably really enjoy it. But if you've been on things like Manta or Tatsu, it's not too great. Also, Superman needs to use some superpowers to repaint his super sign, because that's in poor shape. Moving along, over here is a game where you can win some big balls. Molly, you want to win some big balls?
No, thank you.
All right, no big balls for Molly. Dead ahead, actually one of the coolest rides, a very unique ride here at Great Adventure, is the parachute tower. One of the few rides I would actually call a classic ride here, maybe along with like the Sky Ride and the Mine Train. You see the little ride vehicles go up there, about probably 150, 200 feet in the air. Then they'll hang out at the top for 10 or 15 seconds, and then they'll just drop you with the parachute there to slow you down. It got repainted in the last couple of years, and it's a really cool ride. A little bit of a thrill, but very, very unique. I really do enjoy the parachute tower. Moving along, there's one more thing, actually two more things I wanted to show you here at the boardwalk section of the park. And one of them is over here on the right. Obviously you get the big upcharge slingshot ride. Or if you want to drop, I don't know what they're charging now, 15, 20 bucks to ride the slingshot. You could ride the slingshot. I'm not a big fan of the pay extra rides. And now over here is this giant empty building. This used to be home to their 3D ride for a long time. Whether it was SpongeBob, Dino Island, Right Stuff, Mach 1 Adventure, Fly Me to the Moon. And now it's just sitting empty. I believe they use it for Halloween Haunt. But I would guess, based on the success level of the Justice League dark rides that went into Six Flags Over Texas, and as well as Six Flags St. Louis, that could be a spot for one of those. Because at Six Flags Over Texas, they put it into really the same building. You got some expansion room out back too, if you need it. Because they've got some go-karts that are generally not used all that much. So I can definitely see this in the next few years becoming one of those Justice League dark rides, especially with them now doing a Holiday in the Park event. And they do have some indoor rides here, Houdini, Dark Knight, Skull Mountain, but having a big family dark ride would help that event big time. And then I'm not normally a big fan of the cheesy theming, but this one's done really well. They took their Twister and themed it to Left Twix and Right Twix. And I just thought this was a beautiful piece of marketing. Not quite as pretty as the fake wood, but I think that's really, really neat the way they did that.
It works.
It works, absolutely. Like it's not.
It makes it a little cheesy.
It does look cheesy, but it also makes you smile. You're like, left Twix, right Twix. Very cool there. And then if you want your fair share of Boardwalk Games, there's a whole bunch. They do have, I saw this for the first time around the park, a couple games for $1, which is really nice, especially if you have a family, or just like playing Midway games and don't want to pay $3 or $4 for them. And then you could buy a Kia. Now, I've grown up with Great Adventure, so one of the classic sections of Great Adventure for me is this area right here. You've got the big carousel, which you know, kind of an average carousel, but a really, really cool area. Molly's gonna go look at cars, I guess. And then between the carousel and then the big Yum Yum Cafe, which I know throughout its reign has gone by a whole bunch of different names, but as far as architecture goes, it's just awesome. You know, the ice cream castle kind of design. Really, really kind of dig that. So I do always like this corner over here. So try something different here for a snack at Six Flags Great Adventure. We got Greek waffle fries, which is a big dish of waffle fries served with oil and vinegar, and a healthy scooping of tzatziki sauce, and what kind of feta cheese. Molly, go for it.
I'm good.
All right, I'm going to try. This is not normally my thing, so I'm not sure if I'm going to like this or not.
I don't know what tzatziki sauce is. It's like mayo based, kind of.
Oh, pretty tasty.
Ranch? I'm not sure. Those have nothing to do in common, though.
No, but it's good.
I like it. Interesting.
For the low price of what, $8? $8.
$8. $7.99 to be exact.
There we go. So I think this is interesting. This mine train here, it's brought to you by Plymouth Rock Assurance, and a really brightly colored train. This train is brought to you by Trains. So some of you guys know out there, otters are one of my absolute favorite animals. And here at Great Adventure, they have a whole bunch, and they're really, really close. I'm right there. Look how cute they are. They're just cuddling and doing otter stuff. And they've got their own little otter slide. It's so cute.
Beavers.
Nope, they're otters, sir.
Small clawed otters. They're the smallest of all otter species,
Oh,
and all of our otters are fully grown, so they max out like this
man,
around
they're
10
so
pounds.
cute. Look at him going up the slide. See his buddy up there in the little fort.
They don't build their own thing. Yeah.
Do you guys have any other questions or anything? No, I love them too much.
Look at his cute little face.
Figure out why everyone's here.
Rubbing off on the concrete, that's crazy. I have this whole nice selfie.
How much do they eat a day?
They all eat around a pound of fish a day each.
Oh,
So when
look
you're
at-
only 10 pounds,
like a
that's
cat.
kind of a lot.
No, that is a lot.
So we're on our way back to Zumanjaro, and this has the ride that's more in the middle of nowhere than any ride I've ever seen. Is we're in the middle of the queue, and it's just we're not even close. Also really cool. They kept a part of Rolling Thunder because they didn't want to remove it. They still have all the trains kind of just sitting out, but as a nerd, I think that's kind of cool. Also, great view of El Toro from over here. But, well, we're gonna go walk over to Zumanjaro. I think we have about a mile or so left. So after our walk to Guam, we rode Zumanjaro Drop of Doom, and awesome, oh man, awesome ride. It's the first and only ride I've ever been on where my ears popped because of the massive amount of elevation change. And
They have a whole bunch.
it's kind of a shame. Kind of a shame that the state of New Jersey won't let them run Ka and Zumanjaro at the same time.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah, the view you get of the Kingda Ka track is amazing. And we rode Lex Luthor Drop of Doom earlier this year at Magic Mountain. And while this was scary, Lex Luthor was scarier because the roller coaster would go at the same time and you would get the tilt and like the swaying of the track. This one, you didn't sway at all, so it wasn't as bad, but the view was awesome. And
Yeah, it was interesting because you could see like when you're about to reach the top because of the track.
Yeah, you're like, oh, there, I'm not at the top yet. Getting closer. Almost there, and it's time to go. But cool ride, very cool. Recommend it. Just buy a water before, because it's quite the walk to get back to. So this is a midway game I've never seen before. It's wrecking ball. You take this giant ball, you throw it into this pillar, and you gotta see if you can get matching colors to win a prize. So just got off the world's tallest roller coaster, Kingda Ka. You can see the train going over the hill there. Awesome ride, 456 feet tall, the world's tallest roller coaster, world's second fastest roller coaster. I will say a little bit shaky. It's definitely got a little bit shaky, but awesome ride, big time adrenaline rush, incredible view from the top. I loved it. Thoughts, Molly?
It was good.
There we go. Molly says it was good. So I dig it a lot. I'm definitely a little bit more of a dragster guy myself, but
Yeah, I
good
like
ride.
dragster better.
All right, let's move on. Molly, what time is it?
Beer 30.
Beer 30, yes! We're here at the Cantina at the suggestion of Mike P and the Jersey Curl, the YouTube contributors. And cool little bar. They've got 8 beers on draft, wine, sangria, mixed drinks. Only one bartender, so that's kind of a bar, but a big beer selection. I mean, if you had a couple of beers I've never heard of, well, then I'm happy. Molly, you're drinking a Corona Light, and I'm drinking a Flying Fish Ale. I've never heard of this beer. Pretty good. Pretty good. So, solid beer selection. Absurd Six Flags prices at $8.50 a beer, but whatever. You know, at least decent selection, and I'm not, you know, drinking, you know, Budweiser or Coors Light or something. I think this is really cool here. On just a tent on the midway here, they've got this advertisement for their holiday in the park, and with a big Sam sculpture kind of Santa. And on the side, they advertise their Santa run. But when you come over here to the back side, it's an ad for Fright Fest with a demonic pumpkin on it. It's so cool. Interesting dual nature there. Presented by Snickers. All right, guys, as you know, I'm a huge nerd, so I have to fill you in on this. Big construction walls up here on the north side of Great Adventure with the Great Lake Grandstand is walled off, as well as Fort Independence is walled off. So whatever they're doing for next year, for 2016, looks like they're gonna get started pretty soon. And man, as a longtime fan of this park, I'm thrilled about this. You know, the Great Lake Grandstand is never used. It's used for fireworks on really rare occasions. I think the last time it was used on a regular basis might have been the Lethal Weapon stunt show back in the late 90s. And then Fort Independence, they've got the other theater where they used to do the tigers, the Safari Theater, so you could do some animal shows over there. And it's a cooler exhibit for the animals. So so you take 2 theaters that are really not used very much or used infrequently, and you're gonna take that and open up all this land here in a really dead part of the park. Because I mean, look at this. It's, you know, somewhat of a busy day, and there's nobody in this section of the park at all. So you've got this big giant plot of land. What are we gonna see here? Obviously, we don't know. Nothing's been announced. Six Flags announcement day isn't coming for about another month or so. But rumors say something like an S&S free spin like we saw in Fiesta, Texas this year, or a B&M wing coaster. And I mean, if they're gonna do something that's gonna take up this whole plot of land here, it will not be the free spin, because the free spin is a relatively compact ride. And I mean, this is a great piece of property here because you've got the lake right there. So you could do some really, really cool stuff. I'm not a big fan of the wing coasters, but if you do a wing coaster and have it interact with the lake, it could be really, really cool. You know, you talk about doing like if you've seen the new Star Wars trailer, do something like that, where like the X-Wing flies across the lake. That would be really, really cool if you could do that on a B&M flyer, not a B&M wing coaster. That would be really, really awesome. Plus, great piece of property over here. Interesting to see what they'll do with it. But it would be kind of weird too, because I mean, Fort Independence is something that's been here forever. It's kind of an icon of the park, and it's going away. Anyway, that'll do it for this construction update. Stay tuned for what's coming next. El Toro now brought to you by the Kia Soul. So you're not riding the bull, you're riding a value car. But actually, the paint job's kind of really cool. Welcome to Adventure Alley, brought to you by Jersey Boys. Home to the Sky Screamer, the big 240-foot version of the Star Flyer, which is a really, really fun ride. And it's coming down now, but man, you're going really quick up there. Once that thing gets rolling, you are just moving. Really, really moving. Fun ride. Always has a pretty long line all day. It's one of the few rides today where we've really gotten some bang for our buck on the old Flash Pass. Because that thing, when we were there earlier, had at least half an hour, 45-minute wait, and it just looks, it's a wait where it's hot and you don't move, and it's just kind of frustrating. Moving along here, one more thing I really wanted to show you off in the Adventure Alley area. No, it's not Air Jumbo or the Roundup, but it's actually going to be over here, not the Tower of Power. But it's the Six Flags bus, the old bus from the commercials featuring Mr. Six. Well, this was the bus they used in the commercials. And I think it's like the coolest thing that they just parked it here at Great Adventure. And also, they've got all these the great old school Great Adventure Rainbow logo on the front. The Adventure Alley logo on the side. I just think that's really neat. They parked the old Mr. Six bus right here. Also in Adventure Alley, the big Ferris wheel, which you get a great view as we will show you right after this clip here. We'll go take you to the view from the top. And then boom, also on the back, you've got the retro balloon and tiger logo of Great Adventure. Really, really cool. As a fan of this park for a long time, I do dig the Adventure Alley. Now let's go to the top of the Ferris wheel. So we are now here on the Ferris wheel.
Hi.
And you get an amazing view of the park. You know, just roller coasters as far as the eye can see. Really, really great view. Park with an incredible skyline of rides too. Nitro kind of hanging out on his cell phone there. Batman going backwards down the drop. There we go. Really cool view. You get an idea how naturific it is outside of Great Adventure. Really a park built in the middle of nowhere here in Jackson, New Jersey. Over here you can see the old chiller stuff. There's a haunt maze set up down there. The observatory building where you used to launch through now is something else. Very, very cool. Great, great view from up here on top of the world. So continuing the adorableness here, it is a baby sea lion, like born within the last month, and it's the cutest thing ever. Oh.
That must be a mom.
Can't see anything through this glass, but you get the idea.
They're fighting.
So cute. So cute.
You guys fight.
Aww. Oh, now it's in the water.
Be a mother
And it's got a frisbee.
It was. Now it is.
Oh my god.
I want to see them attack the ball.
The cuteness level here is off the charts. So, and now, corn dogs. No, actually, Skull Mountain. Really cool shot of the giant Piscata Skull Mountain, the indoor family roller coaster. Actually, the ride was in pretty good shape, I thought. Unfortunately, the waterfall effect out of his mouth not working, but on the inside there was a couple of blacklight figures and strobe lights and some music. It was actually pretty cool on the inside, which
It's weird.
it's definitely weird, that's true. And then turning around this way, you've got Nitro, the awesome B&M 230-foot tall hyper coaster, one of the best rides in the park, Airtime Machine. And as an added treat, on our last ride through, we saw a whole bunch of deer.
Wild deer underneath the ride path.
Wild deer underneath the ride
It was
path.
adorable.
Yeah, that's not something I was expecting to see here on my ride on Nitro. And that just made it that much better. All right, here's snack number 2. It's the Cheddar Bacon Ranch Fries, which look delicious and a big giant mess of 1,000,000 calories. Now, Molly, you actually messed up, didn't you?
I meant to get the chicken nuggets.
Yeah. Over here you can see on the entrees, they have cheddar bacon ranch nuggets. So you get nuggets along with your fries and your chips and all that. So that's what we wanted, but I guess it's a little hot.
I made a mistake.
And Molly made a mistake. So now we just have cheesy, ranchy bacon fries, which still look amazing. So one of the big new things they're advertising for the 2015 season, for the second half of the summer, is Batman backwards. They took their classic Batman train, flipped it around, and they're running Batman backwards. And Batman's a pretty intense ride, and then you flip it around and backwards. It's quite the experience. I know Drew the Intern absolutely hated it, but I really kind of enjoyed Batman backwards. I sat in the front back row, the one that gave you the cool view, and it actually made for a really, really neat ride. I quite enjoyed the Batman backwards experience, and I was not sure if I was going to do so or not. And you get an awesome view. It's like you're riding Bizarro Batman. And it's kind of just weird walking around the park and seeing the train backwards. I don't know, it's because I've been going here for 20 years and I'm so used to it going the other way. But I liked it, did not make me sick like I was fearing, and didn't ruin Molly's day.
No, I thought it would. I did have to close my eyes at the second half because I was getting nauseous.
Yep.
But afterwards, I felt fine.
Yeah, especially if you've been on like these rides all over the country. I've probably been on 7 or 8 different, exactly the same Batman the rides. Going on a backwards, cool experience. I give it a thumbs up. So I wanted to get this on camera just because I thought it was cool. A 3-point challenge with 3 different, there's a 1 hoop, a 2 hoop, and a 3 hoop. All different different heights. So I thought that was really neat. Different for a game like that. Over here in the giant skylight painted warehouse building is the Dark Knight coaster, which is the second indoor roller coaster here at this park, which I think is weird. I can't think of too many parks in the world that have 2 different indoor roller coasters, and Great Adventure has 2 of them, themed around the Dark Knight movie. It's got a really, really cool pre-show, which I can't believe they kept up, and the pre-show looks great. The ride itself, you know, showing its age, they haven't kept up with some of the effects, but at least the pre-show still works, and it's a fun little Wild Mouse roller coaster, so I've never hated the Dark Knight coasters. All right, so we just saw one of the shows here, the Rad Ross Experience, the Magic Show. Molly, what you think?
It was longer than I expected, and it's good for little kids.
Yeah, for adults, it's a, you know, cheesy theme park magician, like 1 or 2 good tricks, but the show lasted like about 45 minutes in the world's coldest theater.
Yes.
So I'm not quite sure I would recommend it unless you're here on a really, really hot summer's day. I will say it's kind of weird because it's back here in the Showcase Theater, which is in this dead section of the park, like in the where the old country used to be. And it's just weird. Like the old chiller station is still here. I guess they use it as a haunt for Halloween, and they turned the chiller observatory into something that's not open. Probably more haunts or something like that. But it's interesting that to be in this really dead corner of the park. You see the old country buildings back there. Weird. All right, moving really cool. You can meet Marvin the Martian and Porky Pig, but Marvin the Martian is so cool. A couple of fun shirts here. Apparently, Six Flags Great Adventure home to X2, and we saw this in our video from Six Flags Discovery Kingdom a couple months ago. But here at Six Flags Great Adventure, it is also Hump Day Woot Woot. That said, they do have some cool shirts here. I'm going to show you my 2 favorites. Was this Nitro shirt. Pretty sweet. Actually, kind of like the Fury shirt I'm wearing here. And the other one I really liked was that guy over there. This one I think I'll buy. I don't have a lot of coaster shirts like that. The cool El Toro shirt. It's pretty snazzy. And I love this gift shop too, just because it's the timeline. It's like the history of the park and all the different things. So possibly the most bizarre attraction here at Six Flags Great Adventure is Houdini's Great Escape, one of the Vekoma madhouses. It's actually pretty neat. It was well themed, well done. We didn't ride it today because the line's been long and we've been busy. But so we're now here in Frontier Adventures, home to the some of the classic Great Adventure attractions, as well as if you're a fan of the photography, it's kind of the Great Adventure money shot right there with Zumanjaro, Kingda Ka, El Toro, the Sky Ride, and the Mine Train all going in one shot. Beautiful picture there. Really, really just kind of snazzy. Love that shot. Moving on, one of the older sections of the park, one of the more classic ones too. The log flume that's been here forever, along with the Mine Train and the Sky Ride, all the attractions that have been in this park for a long, long time. I think it's really cool that the Sky Ride came from the 64 World's Fair, because you always hear about the Walt Disney World attractions that came from there, you know, things like Small World and Mr. Lincoln and Carousel of Progress, but you never really hear about anything else, and that Six Flags Great Adventure has a 64 World's Fair Classic is pretty cool. Big giant wagon wheel here. So by far one of the highlights here at Six Flags Great Adventure is the safari. You board this giant off-road safari vehicle, closed now because it's dusk, but you board the giant, probably 30, 40 passenger safari vehicle, and you go on what really is like a half an hour to 40-minute ride past tons and tons of animals. You know me, I'm a huge animal fan, and it was just amazing. You know, baby bears to baby emus, giant elephants, tigers, lions, baby zebras. It was a half an hour awesome ride. A little bumpy and rough, but it is an off-road safari, so that kind of makes sense. But a real highlight, something a lot of parks don't have, and you know, a star attraction, not only for this park, but of the chain overall. I can't recommend, if you come to the Great Adventure and you don't do the safari, that's doing something wrong. Click the link above, you'll see a full ride through the all half-hour ride. I loved it. I think, Molly, was probably your favorite part of the day.
It was my favorite part, and I was shocked at how long it was and how many animals they had.
Yeah, tons of a great collection of animals. If you come here, you got to do the safari. This is where one of the Flash Pass really came in handy, because the lines get very, very long. Because it's like a 45-minute ride, and they're running 20, 22 trucks. But that's, you know, one truck departing every 2 minutes. It's just, you know, it's tough to put that many people on a ride like that. It's so expensive. But awesome ride. You've got to check this out. I can't recommend this high enough. So one thing I found really interesting is that this Six Flags, unlike the other couple I've been to this year, I've been in Discovery Kingdom and Magic Mountain, they have a ton of roller coaster themed shirts. Like for exact specific merchandise for each ride. Old blueprint mugs, Kingda Ka glasses, a whole bunch of Zumanjaro stuff. So I love this because I like buying ride-specific merchandise. And there's a whole bunch of stuff you never thought you would see. Like, did I think coming to the park today that I could buy a Skull Mountain t-shirt? No. But they have one. I think it's really cool. If you love Larson Loops, well, you could buy the, the logo of the Larson Loop roller coaster. It's just really cool stuff. You know, got an old school generic t-shirt.
Oh my gosh, that's a good video.
And moving on there, you got some... Like El Toro almost has its own merchandise stand over in the Plaza de Carnaval, and they got t-shirts for Nitro. And they got such a good selection of stuff. The other Six Flags I didn't spend like anything. Here, there will probably be some money spent. Definitely some money spent. Sweet El Toro glass. Pretty sweet. So if you're a roller coaster nerd like myself, you're definitely going to dig it. Come on, the Dark Knight coaster has its own shirt. Batman Backwards is only probably running for like 2 months. That has its own shirt. Craziness. Or you could buy 3 ring pops. The coasters keep coming here at Great Adventure. Bizarro is in the back corner of the park. Really fun ride. I love the giant sign. You've got a bunch of cutouts and fly-throughs and things like that. And it's got a fire effect that still works. You go through the dive loop, the second inversion, and you got a big giant fireball that shoots up near you. That's really, really cool. Probably really, really great at night. So Bizarro, thumbs up. So we're now here in the Plaza de Carnaval at the new ride, El Diablo, what Six Flags is calling a roller coaster, but nobody else is. And went on it, and it's exactly as, you know, moderately fun, kind of boring as it looks. But I will say this, it's got an amazing devil sign. Check that out. That is fantastic, and a really cool LED package. Ride itself is miserable. Interesting though that the ride operator controls your cycle. It's not like a lot of standard theme park rides where they just hit a button and it goes. And of course the star of Plaza de Carnaval is of course El Toro. I would say it's probably the best airtime roller coaster in the world. One of the best wooden roller coasters in the world. The best ride in the park. Up there with the Safari, depending on your interest. And awesome ride. Great ride every single way. Love El Toro. For me, it's my number 3 wooden roller coaster. I do like Voyage and Outlaw Run a little bit better, but El Toro is amazing. Great ride. Incredible first drop, airtime throughout. Awesome. And that'll do it. We're all done here at Six Flags Great Adventure. Molly, what were your thoughts? Favorite things, least favorite things?
Safari definitely exceeded my expectation. You have to do it while you're here.
Yes.
El Toro, best ride. And
all right, things that we were not so happy with.
Flash Pass.
Yeah, we did.
They were not pulsing very well.
Yeah, like the 16-year-olds that were running the thing didn't really care. So where they should be like having just a couple of trains wait in the station, they would be a completely, you know, dick to ass full station. And you'd have to wait outside the station depending on the ride, and some of them got really bad. It was really kind of annoying.
Some like 20 minutes.
Kingda Ka was bad, and it was just, you know, for the guests that are paying between $45 and $100, you should be giving a more of a premium service than what you were doing. And it was no fault other than, you know, 16-year-old laziness on their employees. So it goes to the training and that kind of thing. But I will say I was very happy with our Flash Pass purchase because it saved us waits of like an hour to an hour and a half on the Safari and El Toro, and that would have just been miserable. Absolutely miserable.
One thing I do like about this park is there's so much to do.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of Six Flags, you get bored after a while because all it is waiting in a line and not much to do. Here you can make a full day of it and not do everything.
Absolutely. There's still a couple rides we haven't been on. We need to go do the parachutes and some of this stuff. Guys, I want to thank you personally for watching this video. I love Great Adventure. If you have any questions or comments, post them in the section below, and I will do my best to get back to you. Thank you very much for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe. We post tons of content like this from all over the country, and that's cool. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/InTheLoopPodcast. Follow me on Twitter @InTheLoopLegend. We'll see you next week, and goodbye.